Right now, I'm grieving the loss of a dear friend who was like family when I knew her. In fact, many people are grieving her loss while at the same time trying to celebrate her life. In all of the memories of all the lives that she touched, I am thankful to have known her while she was still alive. And perhaps I'm a better person because of it. When I worked and lived alongside her, she mentored me and showed me what a woman can make out of life. She was an example of a woman who had value beyond just sheer physical beauty alone. And while she had the most beautiful, natural, multicolored hair and pretty sapphire blue eyes, with a smile that brought joy to everyone, we all know that the true beauties are beautiful on the inside because their inner beauty is always shining through them into their interactions with everyone who they meet and everyone who they touch. This week, I reflected on the life of this person whom I had once known. I felt sad for her family and husband. And in a day of instant messaging and social media, it felt more profound to write a handwritten letter and mail it to him, since I couldn't show up at his door to listen or attend the memorial service in another country. If you do live in the same place, then showing up is better than writing a letter. Because when you get news like that, you show up. And I knew that she would not have wanted us to grieve. I know that she would have wanted us to celebrate her life and cherish our memories of her. For as her husband and many members of the military say, she is flying free of pain now. She is flying free until we meet again. And as I remember the experiences that we had and the conversations that we shared, I still get hit unexpectedly by tears. I wasn't even half as close to her as her family was, but I'm still crying uncontrollably in my spare time and moments. While it's beautiful to find meaning in loss and pain, it is perhaps the most painful form of beauty. Losing a loved one to death is probably one of the most heartbreaking forms of any loss, and every loss is its own form of heartbreak and disappointment. I will not try to deny this pain any longer, because separation of any kind is always painful. I will never see her face again or hear her laughter. I can only imagine that people reunite in some sort of a heaven or afterlife upon our own deaths. But I feel like this thought of religion is just there to bring us comfort in our loss. This idea that even the terrible things are meant to be is a way to try to put a happy spin on something that is anything but happy. Would our loved ones want us weeping and suffering over them? Absolutely not. But it is so hard to be positive about such a thing. And for me, it would be inauthentic to try to be anything but what I really am right now. Since last night, reflecting on so many different forms of loss in my life over the last 4 years. And as I watched the memorial service streamed live, while simultaneously thinking about other former relationships, breakups, and deaths, I realized that I, as a life coach, feel broken on so many different levels. A bottle of super glue couldn't put this porcelain vase of what my life once was back together again in the same way. It might become a whole new piece, perhaps a chipped cup or a plate with holes in the center. The holes left over after loss. A piece completely transformed by pain and the growth that is a result of a piece made of what's left. All of my leftovers. But being broken is how the light gets in. Being broken and sharing our cracks and mismatched pieces with one another is how we connect to being human. Because everyone is broken in one way or another. None of us can live break free. And we are perfect in all of our imperfections. All one can do is experience what they feel about it in each moment, while knowing that eventually those feelings may change. And everyone will experience their own individualized form of their losses, their own memories, or things they found important. Everyone had a different dynamic. Everyone shared their own story of the same person. Separation might in fact be the only true pain in life. Separation as a result of death is the most final feeling kind. It can kill one's hope in the future. Fighting it doesn't help. Trying to be positive doesn't do justice to your own experience of that pain. Pain is a part of life, just as much as happiness is. And if we try to numb out the hurt, we will also numb out the joy. And the pain is very beautiful, like an opera song. The heartbreak is the most painful kind of beautiful sound. And here is why the amount of pleasure that we experienced with the union of sharing an experience with another human being is always equivalent to the amount of pain it will cause us when life so cruelly separates us from them. The pain is equal to the joy and the ecstasy that they brought into our lives. Do not deny yourself this pain. Do not take away from your joy in life. As Wayne Dyer might say, don't die with your music still inside of you. Jay Shetty recently said, if you win, celebrate for one day. And if you lose, cry for one day. But then move forward with your life. Come back to being present in the now. This is great advice for a Buddhist monk, but it can be quite challenging for us mere mortals to follow. If you meditate every day, then maybe it makes sense how you can choose happiness in each day, regardless of external circumstances. And that's one of the best benefits of meditating regularly. But if you're not at that level yet, Don't suppress your emotions. Find a safe place to experience them. Maybe take a walk outside or a run for those runners. Make a ritual out of it because that is what funerals are for. Now that we have cried all of our tears, or maybe not, you never know what might happen tomorrow. Let's look at how to move forward. What are the best ways? What helped you to move forward after your last loss? What worked well for you? Allow yourself to fully experience everything about the loss. Now reflect on it. Because finding meaning is the only okay thing that we can make out of a loss. It's not happy, it's just okay. What did you learn from this person? What will you be taking with you that you wouldn't have if you had never known them? How do you think they would have wanted to be remembered by their family and friends? How would they have treated you if you were mourning the loss of someone else? Treat yourself that way. That is the best path to self-love. Treat yourself how you would treat someone who you loved. Would you say those words to them? Would you do those things to them? Would you have that expectation of someone that you loved? It's perfectly valid to nurture yourself and self-soothe. It's normal to find someone who shared this person with you to tell stories about them with. Sharing memories is perhaps the only solace during times like this. Maybe you will even want to create a piece of art or write a book or poem about it. I'm planning to paint a picture of my friend, a portrait of her, similar to the one she painted last year. For she brought back something to me that I had let go a long time ago. My ability to make paintings. I'm actually a trained artist in that, but I haven't used it for many years, except for the wine and paint nights that she hosted. So right now, this pain is causing me to want to create and to want to make art again. So I'm going to try it this weekend. How can you best express yourself? What type of meaning can you find in this loss? What did you love about them that you want to carry into the future with you? How can you keep that part of them alive? Is there a fund or charity that you want to donate to on their behalf? It doesn't have to be financial. It could simply be continuing a saying that they had, or treating people the way that they treated them. Don't do that if they were a mean person. I'm just talking about those kind individuals or people we miss because they were truly good people. Imitate them. Know that you've survived other deaths and that you will survive this one too. Move forward with the rest of your life, one step at a time. One day at a time. One sleepless night at a time. Sleep evades us during times like these. But you will sleep again. You will sleep when you are tired enough. May peace be with you. Take care of yourself.